Today we are going to talk about tropical storms, a hurricane, as well as Canada and New England for Princess in 2025, and my visit to St. John Bay of Fundy there in Canada yesterday. So we've got a lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips, and today is Thursday, September 21st of 2023, and this is for tomorrow, the 22nd. I always just tell you the day I'm doing it so that you know what day I have that information. So first off, I would like to invite you to please subscribe to our channel. That's actually really important to us, and I sure appreciate your support. And if you wouldn't mind giving us a thumbs up for this video as well, especially if you appreciate my updates and find any of this helpful, I would really appreciate that too, so thank you. So first off, we've got Hurricane Nigel. It looks like Hurricane Nigel is going to go ahead and end up over closer to Iceland in that direction. That's the direction it's headed, so I think that we are hopefully done worrying about that to impact any cruises here in the United States along the northeastern seaboard there. But we have another tropical storm that is moving along. She is following the coast there of the Carolinas right now. And as of right now, the meteorologists are projecting that it is going to hit the New Jersey area on Sunday. So as far as everyone getting on a cruise ship and embarking on Saturday, and our cruise ship will be getting to New York City on Saturday as well. And I know that we've got people getting on the ship that day to embark on their New England cruise. Hopefully you'll be able to get away just fine without any problem and head off without much impact from that. I'll keep my eye on it and keep updates coming for you again tomorrow and let you know. But I am hoping that everyone is able to get off on their cruise and that they have a wonderful time. And I do feel like every time I say that, I need to add, of course, the people who are in the path of that storm are in our prayers, because their homes and their livelihoods and their safety is so much more important than if it's going to rain while we're on a cruise. So, and I know all of you know that as well. Well, a really exciting information that I've got for you here today is that Princess is releasing their Canada and New England cruises for 2025. Those are going to go on sale on September 28th, so just around the corner. And I wanted to point out a few highlights for you so that you can get excited about it, because I'm excited about it. Gordon and I are going to take a minute and figure out when we can do a group cruise, and so hopefully anyone that would like to come will come with us. A really fun thing to note is that Carnival, cut that, love. A really fun thing to note is that Princess is going to have 3 ships doing Canada and New England cruises in 2025. We're going to have the Majestic Princess, the Island Princess, and the Enchanted Princess. So it's kind of fun that we'll have 3 ships doing those cruises. They'll be doing a round trip. Well, there's a variety of different cruises that they're going to be doing. And a lot of times those cruises will start sometime August-ish, and then they end towards the end of October. And then the ships reposition, of course. So a few things to keep in mind is that, first of all, they are going to be doing round trip itineraries. But one thing that really stands out to me about all of Princess's itineraries for 2025 is that I've kind of looked through and I don't see Bar Harbor on those itineraries. I don't know if it's because of everything that's going on with Bar Harbor. I would suspect that that's probably what it is, with Bar Harbor saying that they want to have fewer cruise ships calling there. But Bar Harbor is not on the list. And so if you want to go to Bar Harbor, my first advice would be, if you have time this year, if you can fit it in, and it's on the 7-day cruises, so you can take a week off work or a week away from whatever you do, if you're able to do that and you can afford it. They are much more affordable this year. You should go this year, because Bar Harbor is on a lot of itineraries. For 2024, I looked, it is very limited, the itineraries that Bar Harbor is on. You see a lot more Portland, Maine, and a lot more Rockland, Maine. And I would say that Portland, Maine has said, they have come out and said that they want more cruise ships to call in their port. So they are actively courting the cruise lines to come there. So I think we will see more and more of that, and far less Bar Harbor on any cruise ship. And so keep that in mind if Bar Harbor has been a goal. And if you missed my video that we put up yesterday about going to Bar Harbor, it was spectacular. It was so beautiful there, and I have learned my lesson. I only brought my cell phone. I thought I could just video everything with that, so I didn't bring my nice camera, and I was going to bring my nice camera just for photos, and I forgot it. So anyway, I was having trouble with my camera battery, so I don't really have video from my excursion, but that scenery was spectacular. I had the best time, and then I ended up going, taking the tender back out to the ship, and then getting my phone charger, a different battery, everything, battery charger thing, I couldn't change the battery in my phone, but then so that I could use my phone in the afternoon after the excursion was done, and went back into town to walk around and see things. And so anyway, I do have footage from that, but I would highly recommend going to Bar Harbor. It is beautiful there. It's right by Acadia National Park, so the scenery is spectacular. Where they have the ship tender and see where the ship anchors and then taking the tenders in, that is beautiful. The town is beautiful. It's a really nice place to visit, and so I do recommend it. So if you can possibly go, I think it would be worth your while this year. And then, like I said, next year, and you know what, I am sure that Portland is beautiful. I am sure Rockland is beautiful as well. So if you can't go this year, not all is lost, don't worry. But so for 2025, the Enchanted Princess is going to be running the 7-day cruises round trip from New York. And then, like I said, the Majestic and the Island Princess are going to be doing cruises as well. They are going to have a Boston round trip. So how fun is that? I think that would be really cool. The Boston round trip is going to go to Halifax, Sydney, Charlottetown for all of the Anne of Green Gables fans there on Prince Edward Island, and also Portland, Maine, and then back to Boston, and that will be on the Majestic Princess. And those cruises are going to run in August. So I happen to know it's August 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, and the 23rd of 2025 are when those round trip Boston cruises are going to run that I just told you the itinerary for. And then August through October, they'll have those New York round trips that I was telling you about. And those itineraries are very similar to the one I've just been doing this week. They go to Newport, Rhode Island, and then Boston. They stop in Portland instead of Bar Harbor, and then up to St. John for the Bay of Fundy and Halifax. They're also going to run the 10-day ones that go from Boston to Quebec and from Quebec back to Boston. They'll be doing that also August through October, and that'll be on the Majestic Princess. And one thing that's really cool about that is some of those itineraries, they go visit Saguenay, I hope I'm saying that right, or Saginaw, but you get to sail up that river a little bit, which is supposed to be spectacularly beautiful. So that's a very tempting itinerary. Then they are also, in addition to that, they're going to be sailing round trip from New York, some 10-day American Heritage sailings, and those, it's really interesting. Now they don't just say that they are going to call in Yorktown, but they're going to either call in Yorktown there or in Norfolk, and I don't know if that has anything to do with what we're hearing with the news with some of the people in Yorktown not being happy about cruise ships coming. That could be having an impact there. But they are also, they've got one that goes to Charleston as well, and there's so much history. They're going to go to places that you can go to Gettysburg sites, Revolutionary War sites, colonial, like Williamsburg, all of these kind of things. So those are really cool. That's going to be an amazing itinerary. And they also are going to have a 14-day Canada and New England that runs, it's the repositioning. It goes from Quebec down to Fort Lauderdale. That's in October on the Majestic Princess. And that sailing is going to have an overnight in Quebec and an overnight in New York City. How cool is that? Then also a 17-day Greenland and Canada. It's going to go July 14th or August 1st on the Island Princess round trip New York. Like, how convenient is that? And just know that for that round trip from New York there that goes to Greenland, you're going to have a passport for that. Those other ones, and if you do Boston to Quebec, you're going to have a passport for that. If you have the round trip New York, you can get away, just that goes up to Canada and back. You can get away with your certified copy of your birth certificate and your government issued ID, although it is much more recommended to take a passport, but I'm just kind of giving you a lay of the land there. And then finally, they have these amazing cruise tours that you can add onto it. So if you're not from that region of the country, you can go there and do your cruise first and then do a cruise tour, either up in Canada or down in the Revolutionary War sites so that you can hit like Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., I want to say Gettysburg, but you can ask me about that. And so if you need help booking any of those cruises or booking it and then help with the travel and everything that goes with it, I'd be delighted to help you if you would like. I'd be tickled pink. And then don't forget that Monday, September 25th is the day, and I've had this actually marked in my planner with a star, is the day that people in Canada can start ordering their medallions for their cruises and they'll be shipped. So I know that there's a whole lot of people that are waiting for that. If you missed my video about embarkation day, go back and watch it. I was blue laned here. It took about 20 minutes or so in line to be able to get my medallion, but that was okay with me. I wanted to know how it worked and it wasn't too terribly painful. Now, as I was mentioning, we were just in St. John there for the Bay of Fundy. There's a lot to see there in St. John in addition to the Bay of Fundy, but the Bay of Fundy, I believe it has the largest tides in the world. The difference between the tide, it's between 30 and 40 feet. If I have that correct, but it is a really big difference at between high tide and low tide. So when you're there, there's a whole bunch of different excursions that you can do, and there are a lot of different hop-on, hop-off bus things that I noticed. And so Gordon will just put the pictures in here while I'm telling you about it, but it'll give you a starting point that when you go, you can either book your excursion, of course, with the ship. You can book something with Viator, or you can do a hop-on, hop-off bus to be able to get to the places that you want to go. But let me tell you this. First of all, someone commented on my live, and they feel like if you used your time that you could walk over from where the ship is to see the Bay of Fundy and see everything that you wanted and go and then walk back. So I'm putting that out there for those of you that love to walk. Take a look at the map and see what you think. The excursion that I did, it took us to other places as well. We went to the I think it's the Van Horn Mansion, where we had a lovely lunch and it was really nice. So we saw way more than that, and I don't know that I don't think I could have walked and done all of that, but so there's lots of different things, and the Bay of Fundy is something that you really should just get to see. And we were really fortunate when we were there that the tide was out, and so we got to see that. So I would say that St. John is definitely a place that if you want to really see everything that there is to see in that area, definitely think about booking an excursion, or definitely look at that map and see what you can do, because with the hop-on, hop-off bus that they run, you can get off at stop number 9 and get to see the reversing rapids there. And the nice lady told us that at stop number 11 and you could get off, and that there's a bench right there for people with limited mobility so that they could see that as well. The really important thing to remember with those hop-on, hop-off buses is that the day moves on, they generally get more and more full. So when I got done with the excursion that I had been on, my idea was, I thought, oh, well, I'm going to go do the hop-on, hop-off, because it was part of the town that I hadn't seen on the excursion, and I thought that would just be a fun way to see it. But so I went over, it's through Ambassadors, and they have a table there in the I lost the word, in the terminal building there for the cruise terminal, where you come out. Once you come out from being on the ship, in that there's some tour providers there, and one of them is the Ambassadors that runs the hop-on, hop-off. And so they would charge $74.95, which is a lot, to the cruise ship room. So the cruise ship, you know, it costs more because they get a share of it. But anyway, so I went to do that, and I waited in line for, easily over a half an hour, and the gentleman said it was going to be at least another half an hour, 45 minutes before we would get on a bus. And so I decided that I didn't want to use my time waiting around like that. And I went back to the lady, she crossed my name off, it was no big deal. But so my idea is that if you're going to go there and you know you're going to have time extra from your excursion or whatever you're doing, or that you want to do that, go ahead and make a reservation for that, book it in advance, and definitely go there first thing. Definitely go first thing, because I was later because I'd already been somewhere else and couldn't be there first thing in the morning. So make sure you do that first thing so that you don't have to wait so long, okay? And then look at my video, see the other places, anywhere else that you might want to book a tour with. And I'll have that list, so if you end up needing help with your booking a cruise and going there, I'll have that information to help you with as well. Then the other thing, that area there is also very walkable. When you cross the street, well, first of all, when you leave the cruise terminal building, you go through a little market area where people have set up their little individual shops. And then at the end of that little area is a place called Beaver Tails, and it's just a food truck. But the poutine there is so good. So poutine is French fries with gravy on it, with a kind of cheese that they have that they just put in clumps on there, and then it kind of melts into it. Oh my goodness, I thought it would be good. It was absolutely delicious. It was so good. And they also sell beaver tails, which is like pieces of fried dough that are like, like a beaver tail shape. I think they were all about like this big. And then you can get different toppings on it. I didn't have room. I couldn't eat them both. And I really had never tried the poutine before, and I wanted to try that, so I did. It was absolutely delicious. And so know that you can get that there, and you should get some there because it was really good from that place. But once you go out of that little area, and there's places that sell things like, your maple stuff, like your syrup and your candy and your cookies and all of that. So there's several things. There's a candy place. Anyway, when you come out of that little market area, then you can cross the street, and there's a lobster restaurant right there. Just down from it is a little place that sells, like, literally you walk down the sidewalk 15 or 20 feet, and there's a little stand that it's just in the building, but they have the window open, and they sell like your hot dogs and your french fries and your nachos, and they sell Donairs there. Wish I would have gotten one of those. I would have probably been too full with the poutine and that, but I really wish that I would also have done that because I ate it another place as well. But there's just so many things that people tell you to try. So I walked down. So as you walk down that street, come out of the market thing, turn left. Down towards the end of that street there's a place called the Market Square. And when you go in there, there's a restaurant there that had Prince Edward Island mussels, and I tried them because so many of you told me I should, and they were absolutely delicious. It's a sit-down restaurant though. And then in that place, it looked like a lot of places had closed. There was a taco place open and a few other little things, but not very many things were open the day that I was there. And so I just looked around there. Then I walked back and gave some business to a couple of places there and got back on the ship. And by then it was close to time to be back on board anyway. So wanted just to let you know that area there is very walkable. It's definitely worth it to go see the reversing rapids there. That's what they call it, where you can see the tides and walk on. You get to walk on the ground there that's often covered by the ocean when the tide is in. So it was really cool to see that, and I think you'll really enjoy it. The people that were there that were so very kind. All of the seafood was, oh my goodness, fresh. It was absolutely delicious when I tried those mussels and had a little thing of lobster with it. I think the Bay of Fundy and St. John is a splendid place to go. It was absolutely wonderful, and it's so beautiful, like everywhere else that we've been on this cruise. So if you have any questions about visiting St. John or anything that goes with it, let me know. If you missed the sail away, you should watch it because it is so beautiful there, and so many people, you all are wonderful. You chime in with helpful tips for everybody else. People that live there come on. While things are really fresh in my mind, I answer your questions. So catch that if you haven't already. Just coming down from the gangway there. Is she going over there? We got Toro Taco over there. Thank you very much for being here. I'll be talking to you all again really soon, and you all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.